Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. We're back with Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga here, your host and local DFW realtor. We're going to do a little mortgage talk with Miss Terri Waggoner. Terri, how's it going?
Good morning, Mike. Doing good. How about you?
I'm excellent.
Good.
You know, I know we're always looking for ways to get people into a house, and sometimes, you know, we need to pick a different program or different pieces to try to help boost somebody into a house.
Right.
And so let's talk about this program that you want to bring with us today.
Right. That's the MCC, the Mortgage Credit Certificate. And yeah, sometimes we've talked about debt-to-income ratio before. Sometimes when the debt-to-income ratio is high, this program kind of saves us. In some instances.
Sure.
So I just kind of wanted to highlight a few of the points on the MCC.
And before you get there, so what does this MCC really do? I mean, how does it help us?
How does it help us? MCC is designed, basically it's a certificate that you give to your HR department, and you are actually issued a credit on your taxes that allows you to realize more of an income on your paycheck. Okay. So the maximum amount that you can get on that is $2,000 a year, which comes out to $166.67 a month. And how that computes in our loan process is we add that as additional income for you. And then it is something that you as the homeowner will have to renew ever so often. It may be every year, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
Because they're going to base it off what you owe on the house. So 10 years down the road, you're not going to get as much as what you're getting here in the beginning.
Right.
So they have a simple calculation that they do to determine how much of a credit you're going to get. But you can renew it. You don't have to renew it, but you can renew it every year, and just make sure that your HR department has that certificate and can issue you that credit.
And so this can be a great way to get people over the hump,
right,
when we're in a sort of a debt-to-income ratio issue,
right,
with their loan.
That is correct.
And so even though that doesn't sound like a big amount, you'd be surprised, folks, that can get you over the hump.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It makes a big difference in some instances, yeah. So utilizing the MCC program, you have to be a first-time home buyer. This is not, you can't use it on a refinance or you know, you're selling your current home and you're buying a new one. Can't use it in that situation. First-time home buyer, which means, what's a first-time home buyer definition, Mike?
Well, now, isn't this one going to be only the 2-year or 3-year mark?
3-year.
Okay.
If you have not owned, you've been paying attention.
I have. I've been paying attention in school.
If you have not owned a property in the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. Crazy, right?
So technically, it's not necessarily as
yes.
a first-time buyer.
Right. So if
just
you have
in
not
3 years.
That's right. So if you've not owned a property in the last 3 years, you would be eligible for the MCC.
All right.
How do we determine that you know, tax returns? We are going to need to see the last 3 years' tax returns to make sure that there's no mortgage on your tax return. Okay. So we're going to look at that. There is no minimum credit score. So we at Supreme Lending on an FHA loan go down to a 580 credit score. You can use the MCC on that program down to a 580. No minimum credit score required.
And that's huge. And
that's kind of big.
And a lot of the folks that are going to be kind of in that ballpark, you know, are probably, you know, going to need this.
Might need a little help there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
We can combine this MCC, and actually in a lot of instances do combine it with the grant programs that we've talked about so many times. So all of the grant programs that we have in our office that we utilize, you can combine with the MCC program. So now, for that program, we just talked about minimum credit scores. For the grant program, you have to have a 640, so keep that in mind.
Right.
So if we're combining it with one of the grant programs, your credit score does have to be a 640 or better.
Higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can combine those two together and kind of make sure that they complement one another. Okay. The fees associated with the MCC used to be a little higher, but they have reduced the fees. It's a one-time fee added to your closing costs of $500.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's not bad for a continuing $2,000 credit back to you on a yearly basis.
Right.
So you've recouped that, in the first year.
Exactly.
Okay. But the MCC allows us, like we've talked about, it's saved us many times if our debt ratio is just a little too high, and we can't pay off debt. There's nothing there to pay off. We plug that MCC program in, and it works. And there's not a whole lot of additional paperwork or underwriting that goes with it. There is a little bit. I believe you have to take a first-time home buyers seminar online that will hook you up with the information to do that as well. But you complete that first-time home buyers education. After you close and fund on the loan, in the mail, we helped a gentleman not too long ago with this program.
Sure.
You get a certificate in the mail after the closing and funding. You take that certificate to your HR department, and they file it so that every week you get more money on your paycheck.
Yeah, it's a win-win. Not
How
only
can
do you
that be a
get more
bad thing?
money, but it can be that little bump you need to get into the house, too.
That's right. That's right. And this program has been around for a long time, but we just don't utilize it often enough, I don't think.
Well, and I think people would be surprised, how many programs you guys have and are very fluent in. Let's say you just call the average loan officer and say, hey, what's this MCC program? Good chance they probably don't know what it is.
Right.
So that's why you want to give Terri a call.
Right. I had a customer that I talked to just this week that same scenario happened. They were with a different lender. They were with a different real estate agent, switched real estate agents. They sent them over to me, and they were going through the process of explaining, well, I heard about the information on the grant program, so what can you tell me about it? And when I explained the different grant programs to this customer, they were astonished. Well, I wasn't told any of that.
Right.
I was told about this one program that I didn't fit in. So we found them a different one that they did fit in.
Right.
So, yes, please give us a call. In a lot of instances, our hope is to make you a customer for life. So what that means to me personally is I may not be able to help you with a mortgage today, but we're starting the groundwork so that you can be a homeowner in the next, hopefully, 12 months.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, folks, you can't just get this information online. There's so much information out there, and the good information is with the folks who actually utilize that information and practice it on a regular basis, like Terri.
Right.
She's got the information, and she can plug your situation in and figure exactly what you need to do and get you in a home. And it may not even be 12 months. It might be It might be a month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be. But worst case scenario, 12 months.
Yeah.
And so even if you was sitting there thinking, man, I can never get into a home, my situation is so brutal, it's not going to happen. I bet you're wrong.
Yes.
We get you with Terri.
That's right.
Worst case scenario, 12 months.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely. Folks, her number, 469-644-4818. That's her direct line, cell number, website, terriwaggoner.com. You can always just head on to her website, fill out an application right there. And they can also download the app. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep. What's the app called again?
It's called Mortgage Map. And
Mortgage Map?
I'm going to bring that next time I come, Mike, the URL, so that everybody will know exactly how.
But it's searchable in the Play Stores and all that.
Yeah, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, folks, another great segment with Terri. Hey, Inside Real Estate Mike Kruizinga. Come on back in a few.